motivation here tonight. The hometown Blues can advance to the Stanley Cup final for the first time in 49 years.
One of the greatest turnarounds in NHL history. Dead last on January 2nd. The Blues were given less than a 10% chance of even making the playoffs.
Here's play, Wade shoots, scores! The Blues with the power play, and they have possession right off the draw. They score! Tarasenko!
That goal just might do it.
Sharks trying to push back. This team is not going away. Quiet. The play out in front. Binnington saved. Here's Kenny. Saved by Binnington. On play. Control shoot. Stop by Binnington.
Another outstanding performance by Jordan Binnington.
On a night in St. Louis, these fans have waited half a century for. And the St. Louis Blues are going to the Stanley Cup final.
Oh, look at this. Second time.
Right out there.
Second time today. Second time
That's
today.
better than Drake. That's never mind Champagne Poppy. That's Shannon Poppy.
Hey, how you doing?
Broken clock.
6-0. Our global ambassador.
Yep.
You got a massage.
Hold on.
from?
No, look, you're getting massaged. Look at this. You're getting massaged by Drake. Look at that.
Hey, kid, don't bother me.
Wrong way.
Look the wrong way, but it's okay. Nobody cares.
No, you
Nobody cares.
Okay, we can leave. Now it's freaking me out. We can get Drake out of the picture. There you go. Technology and stuff. You know what, John?
It's the simplest thing.
So many
It is the
things.
simplest
So
thing.
many things. Where does Joe Thornton go from here? What has Erik Karlsson done to his offseason from a monetary standpoint? What chance do the Blues have in Boston? But the first thing I want to do is this.
Where's the original?
You got the original.
Oh,
Where's the original?
I broke. I'm out. I broke. You can't show me.
John's thinking, I got makeup on for this.
The look that you gave.
That's the look of John Shannon in this moment.
Did you ever think in your career you would sit beside a guy playing Umberto Tozzi and he would
He did.
caress your shoulder on
did.
a national sports television show?
He did.
When does that show start?
We're not. I can tell you when
it's a
it might end.
Soon.
You got to realize some of the best comedies when you don't do it. Like this is Jack Benny's moment where he just turns and
Bless you for
Looks at the
comparing
camera.
us in any
You
way.
want to explain who Jack Benny is?
Google him. Google him, okay?
Jack
Just
Benny,
go Google
Jack
Jack
Benny
Benny.
was voted best comedian in 1884.
John Shannon.
Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock, CBS.
He knows. What did we just watch here with this Blues team? Like, what comeback story over the course of a season could you possibly compare this to? Because this is staggering what just happened here.
Well, what you watched is the best team in hockey from January 3rd on.
Yeah.
Really what you watched. And there were a lot of people that expected this to be this way all season long. And it took them that long to create some level of chemistry and to solve their goaltending issue.
Yeah.
What you really need to know about St. Louis prior to Christmas was it was a team in turmoil between the players. They weren't getting along. There was a ton of arguments on the bench. There was a ton of arguments in the dressing room, and there was no way to get them to work as a team. And it took a coach to being fired. It took a no-nonsense approach of Craig Berube, who said, listen, boys, you know what? I know how to play this game. I know what it takes. And we have to play to our personality. And then once they started to realize that, winning solves so much. Mm-hmm. And then add the Jordan Binnington story on top of that.
That's wild. Yeah.
And it becomes quite an amazing feat between January 3rd and today.
You talk to enough GMs. How many GMs will now be quoting what happened in St. Louis in other markets? See, Doug Harvey, he could have traded Tarasenko. They were talking about Pietrangelo. Like every GM will now point to this. No?
I don't. They will, but I think that's probably a better private discussion between the manager and his owner.
Right.
When the owner's picking the phone up every 3 days saying, we got to get rid of this guy, we got to fire the coach, we got to do this. And we're going to say, hold on now.
Blues were.
The Blues, we have to stay the course. We have to do it. We know we have the right players. We have to get them pulling in the right direction at the same time. And I think that's probably a bigger and more important speech for every manager to use, because you know darn well owners are on the phone every second day. Every second day.
That is how it plays out, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Some of them more than others, too.
Some more than others. That's some more than others. But it becomes...
Yeah, we're both thinking Ottawa. Don't worry.
thinking
about that.
I'm thinking
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, but you don't
gave
pick
me
the
the
phone.
look
You
and
don't pick the phone up at 4 in the morning when he calls. You just don't.
Right.
Okay. To me, this is one of those ones where this is the greatest example to manage owners.
Right.
Are Boston happy this happened?
What does that mean?
Are they?
Do they rather get?
Who would they rather get? Like,
Well,
assuming San Jose is healthy. Assuming health is
You can't.
You can't. No.
I'll change the rules,
But
Sixero.
before the series, if you were to ask the Bruins who is the best matchup for us,
I don't think it matters, because as we talked about the Western Conference series before it started, is that in many ways San Jose and St. Louis were mirror images. They aren't the fastest teams. They do have strong blue lines. They did have depth up front. And I think Boston's a little bit of that now too, a little mirror image. Very good on the blue line, lots of depth up front. The question for me is, and goaltending, let's call goaltending a toss-up.
Tuukka Rask has been better.
Better than Binnington?
Yeah,
How do you judge that?
Numbers-wise.
Wins? They both have 4 a series.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I mean, both have 4.
Yeah, they
but
both
but
have 12.
I love both of their very simple approach to the game. They're efficient. They don't really get out of their own way a lot of time. But where I like the Bruins' speed. I think the Bruins are faster. And I think at a certain point, the Bruins' speed will be a difference maker.
We're going to have a lot of time to break down this series, because it's going to take a while for it to get going.
it's 3 weeks away.
It's 3 weeks away.
So it feels.
Sid mentioned all of the questions in San Jose. Joe Thornton, Erik Karlsson, Joe Pavelski. Let's start with Erik Karlsson, who played on one leg. Peter Boer said that they got 6 good weeks out of him.
Yeah.
What's Erik Karlsson's future look like?
Well, he's going to play hockey somewhere next year. I think, first of all, I think he has to decide at some point this summer if he has surgery or not. I think you have to weigh your options and figure out how serious is your injury. And then the moment you decide, if you're Erik Karlsson, that you're going to have surgery, is how does that affect your next contract somehow, some way?
Right.
So what the doctors will tell Karlsson in the next 2 or 3 days, maybe a week, will determine his approach to next year. If they say, no, it's just going to take a little bit of rehab, there's no surgery needed, it's simple groin injuries as opposed to ones that require surgery, then it's a different approach. And then what you have to do is by the 23rd of June, when teams can start talking to these free agents, there's going to be 3 or 4 teams that are going to kick the tires.
Yeah, you got to have medical reports ready.
Sure you do. Yeah,
But this guy's coming off 2 major surgeries, potentially, if he has a surgery for this one, which he could, in 3 years. Like, that changes the market in a major way.
If there's surgery, certainly it does. But I don't think we're there yet, and I don't think he's there yet. And I do think that there's no surgery needed on his vision. He still is one of the great visions of what's on the ice.
Or his hands.
Or his hands.
Or his heart. This kid plays hurt, man.
That's right.
He busts through it. I'll give him a lot of credit.
Yeah. And so I don't think that will be as much of an issue as people will start to wonder, okay, I mean, the days of $88 million 8-year deal, $77 million 7-year deal, that's probably gone the way of the dodo bird, and we're probably talking maximum 5-year deal.
Yeah, and 29, 30-year-olds.
We have
Thornton?
Good point with Thornton. We have 30 seconds left. By this time next week, I just need 2 names. Who's coaching Ottawa? Who's coaching Edmonton?
I would suspect that it's going to be 2 veteran guys, Dave Tippett in Edmonton and Jacques Martin in Ottawa.
Jacques Martin.
Yeah.
I really want Patrick Waugh.
I know you do.
Yeah. Be more fun with Patrick Waugh, however.
Yeah, we might sell some more tickets early.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think they'd be better off with Jacques Martin.
Thank you, John.
All right, boys.
Appreciate it.
fun.